Hello everybody. Today we are going to be giving this informative speech on proper gun safety and gun handling and gun assembly and all that stuff. So we'll show you the gun we're going to be working with today is a Glock 19X. This is I guess they would call it like a polymer pistol. It's not like a revolver or anything, but it's plastic here, metal here. It's meant for kind of like a duty gun, probably like police or like an army soldier or something. It's lightweight and holds a lot of rounds. This gun's not loaded, by the way. And I'll show you just a different type of gun, but this one is just a different type of gun. This is a revolver. It's full metal. It's just and it's a different caliber too. The Glock is a 9mm. But before we get into taking it apart or anything like that, we're going to talk about some gun safety tips. Some gun safety tips. Obviously, don't point it in an unsafe direction. Know where you're going to point it and know what you're shooting at before you shoot. And never put your finger on the trigger. Just let it rest on the side until you're fully ready to shoot the gun. Don't keep it loaded in unsafe areas where children are going to play or children are around or anything like that. Keep it in a safe place. Keep it holstered. Keep the trigger covered on it at all times. Before handling or shooting one, you obviously got to know how to operate the gun. So you put the bullets in here in the magazine. This is the magazine of the gun. You slide it in there with the ammunition in it, and you're going to rack it. Now, if it had a bullet in it, it wouldn't have stopped. See, the slide lock right there is going to stop it if there's nothing in it. But if there was something in it, you would see it right there, and you would just put it down like that, and then it's ready to fire. These Glocks do not have a safety. The only safety to them is if you see that little lip right there, the trigger, if you can see that, does not go back unless that middle piece right there is pressed. That's the only safety on a Glock. It's called like a safe trigger or something like that. And the revolver does not have a Glock. You use like it's got a hammer on the back that you pull back. There is no safety. But if you want to learn more, probably a better way to get gun safety tips, you can go to the NRA's website, which is, they've got a gunsafetyrules.nra.org. Stresses the importance of proper gun safety. They've got probably more tips than I can show you. And then according to pewresearch.org, 3% of all gun-related deaths are those sustained to accidental shooting deaths. Like my mom told me a story, one of her good friends, she was about 5 years old probably, and her brother had found a gun under the bed and it was loaded, and their parents weren't around, and he was just playing around. He didn't mean to, but he accidentally shot her up through the chin right there, and it went out her face. So it's good to know proper gun safety. Not just gun owners need to know proper gun safety. It's everybody that needs to know gun safety, because at one point in time, you're probably going to be around a gun at some point. Guns are everywhere nowadays. And the best idea regarding gun safety for novices and experts was published on fieldandstream.com. You can go look at that if you want more gun safety tips. And one of their quotes is, treat every gun like as if it were loaded. So always be safe around guns. Even if they're not loaded, don't play around with them. They're a weapon. So then I'm going to show you guys just different types of bullets before we take it apart. The Glock, like I said, is a 9mm caliber bullet. It looks like this. 9mm bullet. That's called a full metal jacket because it has the full metal tip on the front. There's no hole, and this one here is a hollow point. You can see that the hollow out in the bullet right there is hollow. Now the difference is the full metal jacket is going to go straight through your target. It's not gonna, it's more of a target ammo than a self-defense ammo, but it's just going to go straight through the target. The bullet's not going to be mangled really. But that's the exact opposite with the full metal jacket. Or I mean the hollow point, sorry, my bad. The hollow point is supposed to hit its target and expand out, almost like a mushroom. It's supposed to expand and get bigger to make a bigger wound cavity. That's why these are more self-defense ammo and like duty ammo for like shooting a person or an animal or something. The hollow point would be the way to go. And we'll get right into how to disassemble this gun. So first, what you're going to want to do is, I'll tell you about the parts first, actually. Obviously, we got the magazine. You've got the framework of the gun, which is the handle, and this plastic part, which is the frame. You've got the trigger right there, which fires it. You've got the slide release right there. That locks the slide back, and when you press it, it goes forward. You've got the magazine release right here that you press, and the magazine will come out. This black part is the barrel, where the bullet actually comes out. And then you've got the slide thingy right there. I guess you could call it a slide release too, because that's how you disassemble the gun, is this little lever right here. So I'll show you how to do that. You're going to put your hand like this on the back of that right there, put the webbing, and then barely slide back on the gun. Hold that lever down. It's released, and then you're going to pull the trigger in a safe direction, and it comes off just like that. And now you have the plastic framework with the trigger grouping and all that in there. Then you've got your slide spring right here. This is actually a different slide spring. It's got a laser in it for better accuracy, I guess. But then you've got your barrel right here. And then you've got your actual slide. I carry a gun with me almost everywhere I go. I like to exercise my Second Amendment right to use a gun. I'll show you how to put it back together. You're just gonna put the barrel back in there with these two grooves facing up. You're going to slide your spring right into there and push it down where it clicks in right there. And then you just take your frame. There's these two little grooves right here on either side that you're gonna, if you can't see that right there, it's got two little grooves that just slide right onto that and fully functionable again. Glocks are probably one of the easiest guns to take apart, in my opinion. Then you put the magazine back in, and bam, it's fully working again. We'll put that back in the holster, and we'll show you another way that Glocks are stored, just some different ways they're stored, is in a holster, and they actually give you a box that comes with it with different cleaning supplies and stuff like that, like the brush right here that goes in the barrel, which screws onto this just like that, and that's just cleaning the barrel and just getting all that gun residue out of there. And that's what that's for. So I hope you learned a lot and can be safe with a gun the next time you may use one. And hope you learned that guns are not toys. They're nothing to mess with. And stay safe.